All right, man, let's talk about some more Detroit Pistons talk. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Let's talk about a few players that the Pistons should avoid. And I don't think there's too many players that I've seen, I haven't seen them all, that, they shouldn't take. But let's get into it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And one of the guys they shouldn't take, and I'll start off, Killian Hayes is one of those guys that, and I could be wrong. I don't work for the Pistons or the NBA, but he's one of those guys that I just don't really see him being a superstar type of guard. And for all we know, there may not be any superstars in this draft. For all we know, that could be the scenario. Who knows? Killian Hayes might go come on top. But one thing I know about Killian Hayes is that he cannot go to his right hand, and that's something you can't improve. But I can lay up left and right and drive left and right in high school. So, he got a nice pull up game. He got a little nice jumper. Handles look all right. Athleticism not off the board, but that's okay. Could facilitate a little bit, but he just kind of, for me, he kind of just missing out on that one big, point guard attribute. Now, he got the height, he got the length, and he may very well be a good guard, but some of the things I see, he may struggle in the league with it, with his handles and with, going right, and they're going to force him to go to his right. But to be honest, I think he might turn out to be, I won't say at best, but maybe a Spencer Dinwiddie type, a guy that, point guard, shooting guard type of guy. But you got to remember, Dinwiddie had the knee issue, and that's why he fell to the second round. So he's just one of those guys that, if I move back, maybe I'll take him. But I don't even think he's the best guard out of France. I think the other guy that's mentored by Tony Parker, Theo Maledon, is the better guard to me, and their athleticism is both basically the same to me. And they, I think he's just a better guard. But like I said, I've been known to be wrong. But Killian is one of those guys that I just wouldn't draft. Just point blank period. I don't see the nothing elite that he does. He has elite height, elite length, and that's where it stops at. But it's just something about him, and I'm not trying to put his shortcomings on Frank Ntilikina or nothing he done. Let anybody go to the Knicks can just instantly be trash. But he's one of the guys that I look hard at, and I just look at the top 10 guys, and I'm not impressed with it at all. Nothing really impresses me about him. At first, when I looked at him, my boy Greg sent it to me. Shout out to my boy Greg. He sent it to me. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. When I sat down and looked at him, I'm just one of those dudes that I think I just see better point guard prospects than him. But, one of the guys, and he ain't on this list, but for everybody that want Wiseman, and this is a separate thing, what you got to understand is Wiseman ain't ready to play right now in the league or not contribute on an elite level or on a level. And I'm not putting Wiseman on this list. Like I said again, Wiseman's a good basketball player. But when I looked at Wiseman, physically, he's not strong enough to play in this league. And that's okay. Dwight came in. He wasn't, strong enough. He got bigger. I remember he told the story about how Kevin Willis, and if y'all didn't know, I think Kevin Willis, he played for the Hawks. He's from Detroit. How he grabbed his arm and he couldn't move it. And that's when he kind of started lifting weights to be able to compete in this league against guys like Kevin Willis. And Kevin Willis was a good guy. Big, strong guy. And when I look at James Wiseman, physically, he's not ready to be in the NBA. But that's okay. You can get some minutes. You can get stronger. But the second thing that worried me is his defensive IQ. He's a guy that's going to be 1 or 2 years away from contribute on a really, really serious level. He don't know how to stop. He don't know how to defend the post. He's not a good weak side defender. IQ-wise, it's going to take him a while. And people say, well, and I was saying, well, him to the Golden State Warriors make a lot of sense. But you got Steph that's 32. You can go on. He's physically not ready to play on that level. And that's okay. But mentally, he has so much more to learn mentally to know how to guard and weak side and help side defense. So when you mix those two together, he's not ready. He's a guy a year, 2 years down the line. I think he's still going to be an amazing player. He can shoot the rock a little bit, can post a little bit. But understanding how to play defense. And when you can't play it that well on the high school level, you're having deficiencies, and you really didn't get the mix in the pro level, you're going to be a 1 year 2 project. But remember, he's not on my list. If he's there, I'm not mad at the Pistons draft him. My other guy on the list is Cole Anthony. He might turn out to be a good player, but shout out to all my people that's in the Sports Global group, in the Sports Global Elite group on Facebook. Some of them were saying he's going to be the next Austin Rivers. And Austin Rivers, I think, had more juice coming out of college. And that's not to say he was a better player coming out of high school, he had better juice. I think Cole Anthony is a good player, but he's one of those dudes who's kind of going, like, if he going to be a point guard and do it in the league, he kind of going to be like Steph, Damian Lillard. What's the other kid name? Russell Westbrook. He's gonna be this new guard, and you really got to teach him how to play the position. And can he learn to play the position? Yeah. Facilitate, understand pick and roll, understand how to make passes. There's zero playmaking ability there with that kid. And then he has injury issues, but he's one of those dudes that he got to live. He got to get stronger. He still may be injury prone, but he can shoot the ball. I think the shooting gonna come. I think the ability to get to the rim is gonna be all right. But you worry about the history of the Pistons having injury prone players like Luke Kennard, Derrick Rose, Blake Griffin, Reggie Jackson, and really he can just be a star in this league. I really think I wouldn't be mad if they took this guy. He could be a star in this league. But to be honest, I just think just his injury history and just him not really having a position, him being more of a shooting guard than a point guard, and you really got to sit there and develop his point guard skills. And we look at Russell Westbrook, and them skills still ain't came. At least Steph can, he can, spell as a point guard and facilitate a little bit. But you look at him, he's really going to be a two guard. You know what I'm saying? So I just really don't think, I really just don't like him. And I wouldn't be horribly mad if they drafted him. But in my opinion, I just don't like him. And then probably tomorrow, I'll be coming back with, boom, 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 boom. I'll be coming back with some players I really like. And we'll do mock draft at Goodfellas Sports TV 2.0 tonight. But moving on, Devon Vessel, another guy. Not saying he's not going to be a good pro, but at 7, I think it's a little bit too high. Elite height for the two guard position. I think he's 6'6", long wingspan, can shoot the ball. But other than that, I really just don't see the elite athleticism, and that's okay. But I don't really see him, really being a great two guard in every system. He's going to have to be one of those guys who have to be in the right system to be a good two guard, but I'm not really high on him at all. I just, I look at his game, he's not athletic, and then he weighed 193. Size problem. He got the lane, but when I look at this game, I see several guys that's better than him. That's probably not even projected to go like early or late lottery, like Sadiq Bey, Aaron Neeson. I mean, it's just a lot of guys that play that position. Josh Green is another guy seen today. Tyrese Maxey is another guy. Some of them guys may not have elite height like him in length, but he just remind me of a guy that's just not going to dominate. He's not worthy of a 7th pick. Now, the only guy that I wouldn't draft that I named so far will be Killian Hayes. But if I'm drafting Vessel or drafting Cole Anthony, I see guys in the 20s better than them. I'd rather draft them in the 20s. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion on it. Good shooter, but I don't see nobody that's going to light the league on fire. I don't see anything elite from him. But he's, 19, 20 years old. But elite height. But I think Aaron Neeson and Sadiq Bey is better than him. Maybe they going off his potential and his age, but give me the ball player right now. And let's get another intermission. Let's talk about Cassius Winston. He did very, very bad at the scouting combine. Didn't run the fastest. Wasn't athletic. Didn't jump the heights. But, maybe some people might put Mateen Cleave's shortcomings on him. And I think he's a guy that, I think he's a guy that can come in here and run an offense and facilitate. And, the question is his size. Can he defend his position? And really, his athleticism is nowhere near like Rajon Rondo. But is it a guy that I'm going to pass up on? No, man. He's a good kid, hardworking kid, even though he's a Sparty. He can facilitate. And, I think he could do some things in the league. Would I draft him in the late first round? Perhaps. But, hopefully he get drafted. But I think if you're in the second round, he's worth taking a flyer round. But that's just my opinion on it. But my last guy is Patrick Williams from Florida State. Just not impressed. Athleticism is he's not athletic. He's long. He can, he can defend. He can rebound at a high clip. But when you look at Patrick Williams, right, he's a willing defender just like Vessel. When you look at him, you got him and Diambo. They both more of a 3. I think Diambo can play a little bit of a 2. But you look at Williams, what you going to play him at the 4? Because he don't have the athleticism to guard elite 2s, and then you switch him on, elite 3s, you switch him on 2s and 1s. He just athletically challenged. And when I look at his game, I just don't see lottery right now. When I look at his age, I'm like, all right, he can rebound. Now, if he's more of the 6'10 variety, then I kind of would understand. But he's one of those undersized dudes that, he's a good rebounder. He can defend a little bit. He's a willing defender, but For him to come in the league and play 3, I just don't see it, man. I just don't see him at that range. Like I said, it's a lot of guys in the 15 and the 20 range that's better than him. Kira Lewis, Tyrese Maxey. You just keep going on. Sadiq Bey. So Patrick Williams is just a guy that you take at 7. It's just hell of a reach. And he him and Vessel and some people top 10. And I just don't see it. But this is my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. All my social media links is on the description. Twitter is the fast way. Then Facebook, then Instagram. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App CJGood313. That's in the description. PayPal link in the description as well. But let me know what you guys think. I know the Killian Hayes brigade or the gang banging Killian Hayes gang gonna be mad at me, but I say what I say. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't wish nothing bad on none of these guys. Hope all of them go to the league and light it up and be all-stars and get $100 million contracts. But hey, let me know what you guys think. We gonna